What do I think of Stoke-on-Trent? I think Stoke-on-Trent is an amazing place. When you initially open your eyes and understand what is here, why it's here. Now the paintings evolved from the photographs and the paintings have evolved from people's stories and wanting to tell lots of stories. The paintings aren't necessarily the architectural truth. Sometimes you can look into a painting and see the place that inspired it, but really it's about interpreting the visual language of Stoke-on-Trent. That means to me references to iconic things like bottle kilns, chimneys, terraced house architecture, the backs, cobbles, everything of interest that constituted the old industrial city. I knew I was a creative person, but I didn't know what to create. And being in Stoke-on-Trent, in this landscape that I didn't understand at first, and big stories always start with the simplest of catalysts.
We champion and believe in Ian's work because from a gallery perspective, it's work that's it's original, it's got energy, it's got vibrancy, it's clearly captured very quickly, but reflecting history and heritage. So they're very clever paintings. There's much more to them than what first meets the eye. It's good work. One of the questions we're often asked is Ian and his connection to Stoke-on-Trent. I think it goes back through many generations of working in the mines and the industries, the pottery industry, and Ian captures that, and he captures it in a way that's authentic and gritty and isn't a sort of nostalgic view of how Stoke-on-Trent was. It's very much a real, genuine, gritty, hard-working, pretty dirty view of how Stoke was, and I think people see through that and relate to it, and that's why we champion Ian in his work.
I think one of the things that struck me, for example, the City of Culture bid last year, the one thing that was missing from it was the human story, the human side of Stoke-on-Trent, the potteries and its culture. Ian captures that brilliantly with his work. You look around the studio and it's all there.
The first thing I would say to anybody who owns my paintings are thanks for participating. You're only participating in the story. I suppose imparting money for a piece of something that I've created is the ultimate validation, but it's enough just to hear what you think.
Two of the pieces I've got are in my study, which is quite a dark room anyway, and they just bring it to life. One of the miners sits well on the back wall, which again I can relate to with it being an industrial setting. And the other one with the three lads on the wall just relates to myself being brought up in a northern town, if you like. Growing up with my brother and generally messing around, to be honest. Ian, I've only had brief discussions with Ian. Like I said, I'd love to sit down with him and David to have a good pint and a chat and find out where his inspirations lie and find out what drives him and what his motivation is and find out where he gets his ideas from. So I think that's a date in the diary that needs to be set.
And so it's important being in Stoke-on-Trent. It's a very significant story because this is where my parents come from. I spent the first 16 years of my life in Africa, and I always knew about this place because I came here every 3 years. And a lot of the experiences in my paintings relate entirely to what I first thought of this town and how I'm making the connection right now. The old city's still here, as I've said before. It might be getting some kind of facelift for the future. You know, the city might be evolving because it is a new kind of city. It's no longer an industrial city. It's a city headed very much into the future with different kind of industries, a different kind of ethos. But really, the story is still here. I'm Ian Pearsall, and I'm an artist.